Hi, my name is Dr. Kristen Miller, and I'm here representing the American Public University System. I have been teaching online for more than 15 years, and I made this video to share some tips and helpful resources that I've gathered along the way that will help with making online science laboratory options. And in particular, this video will help you come up with some ideas for converting physics and astronomy labs in an online format. The first thing that is kind of fun to do if you want to create an online lab in your course is to consider home experiments or observations. These are activities that the students can do in their own home and with materials that they have available in their house. These can be creative, they can be a lot of fun, they can promote real scientific learning and particularly investigation, which is an important component of any lab. These are experiments that students can share with their families, which enriches the experiment for the students. The things to consider with if you want to design a home experiment is that they do need to be very simple and they need to involve little to no materials. Keep in mind that common household items are no longer common in the current state of affairs. So you have to be very careful with what these experiments may require the students to have at home. But if you can keep it simple, then these can be really rewarding experiences. Some good examples, things I've done in my classes. For example, in an astronomy class, you might simply have them make observations of the night sky. This requires nothing more than a piece of paper and a pencil and a place to observe anywhere in their home. They don't have to leave house in order to do this. You would want them to do it at the same time each night, and you would want them to draw a consistent horizon so that they can measure, but they can use for example, their fist to estimate angular distances, and they can use other objects in their horizon to estimate the movement of different objects in the sky. This can be a really exciting and rewarding and educational experience for students. There are also some simple physics and chemistry experiments that can be done in the home. I've got several pictured here with just a nail or paper clips and some and a battery. You can create your own electromagnet. You can, with just a simple glass and a couple of drops of milk and some water and a flashlight, you can create a sunset in the bottle. You can also experiment with different temperatures of water. With a little bit of food dye, you can really see how diffusion occurs, how different materials mix, how temperature affects things. These can be some really interesting and topical experiments that can help students to better understand the information in the class. If you want to get a little bit more high-tech than the home experiments, there are several online labs that you can use that are particularly helpful for physics and astronomy. Two of my favorites are the PHET labs. These cover topics including motion, sound and waves, work, energy and power, heat and thermodynamics, quantum phenomena, light and radiation, electricity, magnets, and circuits. If you go to the PHET labs, under each topic, there are anywhere from 10 to 15 labs that you can choose from, all related to that topic. It covers pretty much any topic you're going to be teaching in your freshman or sophomore level physics classes. They are really interesting labs in that they allow for a lot of creativity and a lot of individual investigations on the part of the students. Keep in mind that there are no lab manuals created for the PHET lab, so you would have to create the instructions and the outline, the methodology for the lab itself, but they do afford students a lot of investigative opportunity, and they do teach in depth a lot of very important physical quantities. The NAEP labs are astronomy labs. These are a really nice set of online labs. They cover solar system, basic coordinates in the sky, seasons, the rotating sky, motions of the sun. They have a planetary orbit simulator as well as a lunar phase simulator. They look at black body curves, hydrogen energy levels, the HR diagram, eclipsing binary stars, atmospheric retention, extrasolar planets, variable star photometry, the cosmic distance ladder, and finally habitable zones. So they cover a wide variety of astronomy topics. Each topic is one complete lab that will have several sections. The NAAP labs do have complete lab manuals that are ready to go, both for the students, and there's a professor version as well. They also contain a lot of online background material that the students can use to learn more about these topics. So it's a really nice, very complete package that walks the students through these topics and helps them to understand them better. Both of these options contain a lot of laboratory materials that cover pretty much any topic you're going to want to emphasize with a lab in your physics and astronomy classes. Another fun option is to use simulations. There are a lot of online simulations that you can create labs out of. There, for example, is NASA's Solar System Simulator. It has information on every planet. It has information on their orbits. Students you can use this simulator to create a lab that allows them to explore the solar system and planetary orbits in depth. Another great resource is the Physics Classroom. The Physics Classroom has interactive simulations, it has Shockwave Studios, and it has multimedia components. All three of those are excellent options that can be created into labs, and they cover a wide variety of physics topics. Finally, there are also physics and astronomy databases. This is an excellent option for online labs because it gives students the chance to work with actual real-time physics and astronomy data. It's really exciting when students get to use real data and see what it's really like to be a scientist. Some of my favorite online databases that have free access to the public of their complete data set is the exoplanets.org database, the Hubble Ultra Deep Field database, HelioViewer, which is a solar database, and telescope image databases such as the Sloan Digital Sky Survey. Most telescopes will have, if you go to their web pages, they will have some sort of database that you can open, that the public can access. And when you go to these databases, I have some examples on the board here. The first picture in the bottom left corner is an example of the data you can see through the Sloan Digital Sky Survey. The second picture is a view of the sun from HelioViewer, and over on the top right, there's a picture of the Hubble Ultra Deep Field showing how in their database you can zoom in on one of the galaxies and see it in a little bit more depth. You can easily make online labs that allow students to explore these data sets, which helps them to learn more about the objects they're studying and also to learn what real data is like and what it's like to work with it. I hope that this has helped you to get some ideas for what you can do in an online format, how you can create meaningful and educational physics and astronomy labs for your classes. Thanks for listening.